What is up, guys?
What's going on, fellow commanders of COM? My name is Dan.
I'm Chris.
And guess who's going to the divisional game in Baltimore this weekend just to freeze his butt off? This guy. Alright, yeah. So with that out of the way, Chris, any good games going on this weekend? I hear the regular season's over. What are we in the playoffs now?
You wouldn't guess it by the scores that we had.
Really? Well, at any rate, welcome to Commanding Cause. This is the Baltimore, Washington area football talk show. My name is Dan, and this is my buddy Chris. We've known each other since middle school. We like talking football, so we're going to do that here. And we thank you all for joining, if you are.
Yes, and thank you to anybody who stopped by the most recent streams, liked them, any of our past content. You guys are amazing. Just wanted to say shout out to you guys for supporting.
All right. Well, at any rate, okay, so let's go ahead and just talk about what happened this past weekend. So I guess we should go in order because on Saturday, well, let me rephrase this. So on Wednesday, I drove to Baltimore to go see Tool. Great show. Then on Saturday, I went to D.C. to go see Frozen live. So I drove to Baltimore and D.C. in the same day. But Saturday, it was the first day of the playoffs, Wildcard round. And I believe the first game they played was the Texans and the Browns, correct?
Yeah, 14-45. Texans put a whooping on the Cleveland Browns.
We were at dinner, and I remember just kind of, it was on the TV, and I was like, okay, well, the Browns are up by a touchdown. We'll see what happens. And then I remember we went to a Kohl's or something afterwards, after dinner, and I was looking at my phone. I'm like, okay, well, that game's over, because it was like 45-14 already at that point. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, then we had the Dolphins going into Kansas City, and that was 7-26, Chiefs over the Dolphins.
Well, hold on. So let's talk about the Browns here for a second. How surprised were you about that? Because I was surprised.
Their defense had fallen off a lot in the end of the year, so I'm not too shocked by it. I think people were still thinking they were the number one defense. Like, I saw comments saying that, and I'm like, the Ravens passed them a couple weeks ago. So I wasn't too surprised about it. And Flacco's due for interceptions. I knew that was going to happen, and the Texans took advantage of it. That was the difference between this game and the other games they played. Their opponents couldn't take advantage of the interceptions that he gave them last in those other games.
Yeah, the Texans just came in. I mean, it was a home game. And actually, I think pretty much all the teams who were playing at home won, with the exception of the Cowboys, which we'll talk about that wonderful game here in a moment. But
Oh, and C.J. Stroud was, C.J. Stroud was definitely one of the better quarterbacks I've seen in a rookie debut.
Oh, he came in there and just owned it.
Yeah.
So, good for them. Go Texans. I have some comments I want to mention about the Baltimore game, but we will talk about that in a moment.
Yep.
Which, I'm happy that the Texans won, and I'm happy that the Bills beat the Steelers, because that means that I get to go to the game on Saturday. But let's talk about that in a minute. Let's go to the Dolphins-Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs and the Dolphins game was kind of slow, to be 100% honest, but that's because the weather was terrible.
I love that meme of Andy Reid's mustache just, frozen.
I can't remember what player it was, but somebody said that he was trying to talk to him, and he was too distracted looking at his mustache.
Man, need some of that. I mean, because, it was, a really cold day. It was, negative, 40 or something, or negative 20?
Negative 40,
Jeez,
negative 30.
How do you even play in that?
I'm not sure. I know I played in freezing rain, sleet, and hail and snow, but it wasn't negative 30. It was 17 degrees. So
yeah,
and that was cold.
I'm not even sure how the human body can handle that. But okay, I guess because don't they take ice baths and stuff like that?
Yeah, I know I used to. It's good for your muscles and stuff.
That game, honestly, I guess that was the one where I picked the Dolphins to win, just because I thought it would be an upset. But yeah, I mean, considering how they're playing, they're used to playing in Miami, and yeah, I mean, they usually don't play well in cold, do they? Well, it's not even
They also aren't good against opponents above 500 this year.
Yeah, a lot of them were calling. A lot of people were calling the Dolphins basically the Cowboys of the AFC,
which I agree with.
Yep. Well, let's go ahead and talk about that Cowboys-Packers game, because, oh, baby, was I happy about that one.
Yeah, Cowboys ended up coming back a little bit, 32-48, but it was already over by that point. Packers were in prevent defense, so that's why they were able to score so quickly.
Yeah, but Green Bay came in and just dominated. I mean, they were like, this is your house? Well, guess what? We don't care.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep
Wasn't
this
Dallas
PG because,
undefeated?
there are some very choice words that I have, but I'm trying to keep this PG. So
And Dallas was undefeated, I think, at home or something like that before this game. Undefeated at home in the
yeah, they
regular
were.
season, they were. Yeah.
Yep. But then no, I mean I'm looking here like they only scored a touchdown in the first half, and they got it to 32, and they tried. They tried a couple onside kicks. I think both of them failed, and yeah, I mean what happened to that Dallas defense? What
Yeah,
happened there?
for real.
Right? And just that. Have you seen the urinating tree video on it?
Yeah. Yeah, it
It's
was
like
funny.
3.5 minutes of him just laughing straight
Yeah.
off. It's great. I mean, I just want to say real quick, the Browns, the Cowboys, the Steelers, and the Eagles all lost in the same weekend. Stop! I can only get so happy. I can only be so happy. But then, Rams Lions, that was a close game.
Yeah, it was. We kind of expected that, though. That was a good playoff game. I was really thinking Stafford would be able to pull it off, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all that
No.
Detroit won. I'm
Yeah,
not mad at
that
any of
gets
these games, to be honest. I like the outcome.
no, yeah. Which I mean, the Bills going and winning against the Steelers. I mean, I expected it to happen, but I think was it. What did you text me about? What did you text me about earlier today with Tomlin?
He stormed off during the press conference when somebody asked him about his contract.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, Steelers played decently in the second half.
Yeah, they did. And
It just wasn't
The
enough.
Bills started worrying me there for a minute in the second half, and I was like, please don't let them storm back.
Well, the Bills. I mean, they had like 4 touchdowns, and one of them was like a 50-something yard run by Josh Allen. Another one was a Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs got hit at that point at one point in the game, like a late hit, and I was just like, ugh. He like took a minute to get up, but he played well.
Yeah.
Then the Eagles and the Buccaneers. That was just one of those games where I don't think the Bucs are going to the Super Bowl, but I'm very happy that they did what they did.
Yeah, they played really well. They played a really good game of football. I know last time I really was paying attention, it was 16-9, so it was a touchdown game. And then I looked at the score again, and I went, "What in the world happened?" So like they
Baker Mayfield,
played
man,
really
he's
well.
making a case.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield's making a case for being, worth that first overall pick, and Cleveland, I think, are really foolish to have let him go.
I 100%. Even before this, thought that Cleveland was foolish for letting him go and giving up on him. He'll only take you so far, I get that, but he's also one of those quarterbacks like Favre that's a gunslinger and has that mentality that they're going to try to get a touchdown on every play.
Oh, he's gonna try. I mean, say what you will about his attitude. That's my main reason for not being the biggest fan of him.
Yeah.
But the guy can play. Now, of course, he has Mike Evans with him.
Yeah, he does. He has a good receiving core. And Mike Evans can put up 1,000 yards with any quarterback, so that's pretty apparent.
Well, then what happened with them Eagles? I don't know what happened. I don't think they got a touchdown all game. If they
Nope.
did,
It's 3 field goals. Yeah, no, the Eagles were fraudulent during the regular season anyways, and it started showing there at the end because they could not do anything to get a win. I mean, it was terrible. I think it's funny because Dallas kind of showed that they were also fraudulent.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I am so happy.
Yeah.
But now I'm a little. I don't know. I don't want to say afraid, but just like so. Okay, the first game is going to be Saturday. Texans at Ravens. I'm going to be at that game. I'll text you if you want to live stream it. You can call me on the phone. I can talk to you. Oh, you're going to be at work? Okay. But knocking on wood, but I'm picking the Ravens.
No, I'm thinking Baltimore as well. I think this game might go 28-24, Baltimore. I think our defense can keep their offense in check. I don't think we're going to turn over the ball as much. Do not put Melvin Gordon out there. Don't put Melvin Gordon out there.
Sucks about Keaton Mitchell, though. I think if Gus Edwards plays, Justice Hill's a decent backup. Who else? Oh, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, we just got Dalvin Cook. Justice Hill has been tearing it up as a receiving running back this year, so I'm pretty confident if Justice Hill gets out there. I'm hoping we're able to keep all of our running backs. I'm not too worried about Dalvin Cook, to be honest with you, though. I'm excited that he's on the team now.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he can do some damage with the running game as a 1-2 punch with Gus Edwards. But We need to rely on that passing game to be able to get that ball downfield. We beat them like 26-9 or something like that week 1.
Yeah.
So if we can get that running game going, teams that can run the ball win in the playoffs. I
Well, and
think
the
we can
thing
get
is
the win.
too, you were talking about the passing game. We might get Mark Andrews back. Who knows? But also at the same time, Isaiah Likely has been doing real well.
Yeah, Odell, Zay, everyone's been benefiting since Andrews has been gone. Um, I think there's some interesting questions that can be asked at the end of the season because if you have two good receiving tight ends, which we do, and then we have a third decent backup with Kohler, I think there could be some trade talks to get some other pieces to be able to stay relevant and keep a franchise going. Even though I may not like that they might trade some of those good pieces, it'd be interesting to see. And I'm still sick, guys. I do apologize. Just give you guys a heads up.
Yep. I think honestly, so I wonder if the weather is going to have any effect on the Texans because I mean they're from Houston. It's warm in Texas, so I don't know. And apparently it's going to be. And let me see if I can find the forecast for Baltimore for Saturday. But I believe it's supposed to be here where we're at. It's going to be like on Saturday high of 23, and then I'm looking at Washington on Saturday high of 26. So it's probably going to be around that. No, I'm looking at Baltimore. There we go. Saturday, high of 24. And it's probably going to snow on Friday. And
Yeah,
for some reason, we always get wind after it snows.
we do. But he played at Ohio State, so I think he's going to be good to the inclement weather.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole team is general, though.
That's
I mean,
true.
it's definitely. I mean, they're both defensive coaches, Harbaugh and D'Amico Ryans, and I mean,
Well,
it
Harbaugh's a
could be
special
very.
teams, but yeah, more defensive oriented. Yep.
It could be more down to the wire. Anyone in the chat, let us know what you think. Somebody did post a thing where because my whole thing was I didn't want Baltimore to rest their starters last week, and then kind of do what happened with Tennessee last time where they choke. But I think, because someone was like, well, Kansas City, they rested their starters and they won, and then the Browns rested their starters and they lost. So, you can make the argument either way. I think Baltimore has the talent. I think they just need to play up to their standard.
Yeah, if our defense can play the way that they've been playing, I think we're going to be good. I'm very excited about this game. The Shrouds are a great football team. If you get the reference.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Texans are great, though. So I think it'll be a good football game. That's all I'm wishing for. I'm just hoping to be able to catch it. I'm gonna any house I go to on Saturday. I'm gonna be making sure I'm able to watch it.
I mean, hey, massive respect to CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans and turning that team around in just a year.
Yeah, imagine once they get a couple more pieces to that defense and that offense. That's gonna be scary.
Oh yeah. Well, and they gave Arizona their first round pick, and they're probably going to get like what somewhere in the 20s now, like
Yeah.
25, 26, something
Yep.
like that. So, I mean, obviously anything can happen, but
Yeah.
then, okay. Now we got the Packers or the 49ers. Are the Packers going to come in and just slap them like they slapped the Cowboys?
Yeah. You know what?
Really?
Yeah.
I
I think
don't
they
I
are.
don't think so,
I think
but
they
okay,
will.
tell me why.
I think the Packers. I think I'm gonna switch my pick here just for the upset. Kind of
Really?
like
We
the
almost had a full
Texans.
week. Huh?
I feel like the 49ers are going to come out sluggish. I don't know why. I'm just getting the vibe that they're going to come out sluggish. That team's amazing, and they could just tear it up. Trust me, and they can make the Super Bowl. But I think the Packers might be playing. I mean, the phrase I keep hearing is the Packers are playing with house money, and they are. They are
Yeah.
playing with they have so much young talent on that team. I think the Packers are going to go in there and upset the 49ers. That's all my logic is because the 49ers are a much better squad. They have a better offense. They have a better defense. Packers defense has been playing a little bit better, in my opinion, even though I know they don't like that coach. He's still been playing better. And then their offense has looked lights out, to be honest with you. And with what the Ravens are able to do against the 49ers, I think the Packers have a squad that can kind of simulate what we did to them as well. So that's why I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers.
I mean, it's unfortunate because there's so much talent on that team, but I let me see here. They lost to the Rams. They beat the 49 or they beat the Commanders though. They lost to the Ravens. I mean, the last time they really put up a dominating win, I think, was against the Eagles. And I mean, I'm still going to go with the 49ers just because the talent is there. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I'd be a little surprised. But if the Packers come in there and they win, good on them. If there's any upset this week, I think it's that.
I think that would be the upset this week too. Because if the Bills or Chiefs win, it's not going to be an upset either way. Both teams are pretty good. And same with the Lions and Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucs are just kind of. I mean, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but like they're just kind of happy to be here. Which, by the way, is I know we have a couple people watching. Is our 49ers fan in the chat? I don't know, but yeah, let's talk about Buccaneers and Lions. I think the Lions are just the better squad. I think they're more dominant. I think we're agreeing that the Lions are going to win this. It's in Detroit. I don't know if the Bucs are going to be doing very well. Again, I don't know if really just cold weather has anything to do with this. But I think Detroit just has the blood. Like, not the blood, but like the desire, you know?
Yeah,
they have the heart.
They have the heart and the tenacity. If the Lions lose, it's because of Dan Campbell. It's because he's playing too aggressive or something like that. That's why they would lose. The Buccaneers can come in here and beat them, though. That can't happen.
Well,
but I am wanting a NFC North showdown for that NFC Championship. I think that'd be amazing. So I'm going with the Detroit Lions. I think they're the better overall squad, and they can do some damage.
Well, see, my thing is then, too, Todd Bowles versus Dan Campbell. I think Dan Campbell's the more, I guess, I don't want to say smart coach, but he's definitely more aggressive. And, you know, I don't know. I feel like Todd Bowles has made some bad mistakes.
Yeah, Bowles has made some mistakes, but he has a pretty good squad there. He's a good coach. I think he's overlooked a lot, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, I'm not saying he's a bad coach at all. I'm just saying I think that Dan Campbell, I think, is the better coach out of the two.
That's fair.
Yeah. But again, I mean, if the Bucs come in, that's something I also would not be surprised at. Because, I mean, the Lions, they did win by 1. But, you know, maybe they'll use that as kind of like get the ball rolling, kind of. You know what I mean? And then we got the Chiefs at the Bills. And we're both picking the Bills here. And I swear if the Chiefs... There's a little bit different here, though. They're going to the Bills. They're going to... it's not Mile High, is it?
They're going to Buffalo.
No, that's them. No. What's the Chief or the Bills stadium? What's it called?
I have no clue what the Bill Stadium is.
Well, they're going to Buffalo. Whereas every time they've played in the past in the playoffs, I believe it was at Arrowhead.
Yeah. And the Chiefs are not looking as good as they had been in recent years. They looked good in their playoff game because they were able to get stuff going. But I really think the Bills are going to come out with the win here, mainly because their defense has been playing pretty decent. And Josh Allen's been he's been putting this team on his back and just carrying them.
Yep, I agree. I think the Bills, again, they have the fire. They have the desire. I want the Bills to win as well. I think that the Chiefs, you know how it is. Every time they get, they win 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, and they're just like, I'm not trying to be rude, obviously. They're a good team, but I'm kind of just like, give someone else a chance. Let's go.
Yeah, that's fair. I also want to see a Buffalo-Baltimore AFC Championship. Yeah. I think that'd be a good game.
So, okay, let's go ahead then, and let me ask you. So if it comes down, let's just say the Ravens. What happened to... Did we get that playoff predictor thing that we had last year?
No.
If I send you a thing, can you get it pull it up on there?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, let's just say that the Ravens and the Bills play the AFC Championship. I do think the Ravens win that one. Yeah,
I think it'll be a good game. I don't want to think about it yet because the Ravens got to look at who they're going against right now to be able to get there. I know. I'm not going to think about it yet because the Bills or the Chiefs could beat the Ravens, and the Ravens could beat the Chiefs or the Bills. They're all good teams. It's just that this part of the year, the Ravens just need to not overlook the Texans right now, is what I think needs to happen.
I agree. I don't mean to put things to a head, but I mean, if it comes down to... Oh, man. I mean, the Texans, did they make the... No, they haven't made the AFC Championship in a while. I know the last time they won some playoff games was in... No, that's right. That's when Kansas City started coming back and putting a whooping on them. Yep.
Back in 2020 or 2019.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see what happens, but let us know your picks in the comments. And Chris, we wanted to talk about a couple more things, right?
Yeah, so Gerard Mayo is now the head coach for the Patriots.
And you called it.
I did call it. I had a feeling it was going to be him, or if Vrabel was up there also for who could have gotten it. But I think they did a good job staying in house. They just need to get a good offensive coordinator in there and get something creative going with that offensive scheming. I think they could do some damage. They definitely need to build that offense. So that defense is already good as it is, in my opinion. They're at least a top 15 squad. There's always room for improvement, but they need to get that offensive going.
Well, currently the Patriots are the third overall pick. I think that might be set in stone. So I wonder if they would get a quarterback. Like, let's say that Caleb Williams is gone and we take Drake May with the Commanders. I think who else is available at that point? I know this is a pretty quarterback heavy class.
Yeah, they could get a quarterback there. I think if they're smart, there's rumors that Kirk Cousins is going to be available. I think he'd be a good quarterback, so you wouldn't have to develop a guy. You get a quarterback in there, and then get some. I think if two quarterbacks go off the list, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is still there, that's who they need to draft.
Okay.
He's
Well, let me ask you.
going to be a problem.
Okay. Well, looking at a mock draft, I am thinking that here. Oh, where is it? Marvin Harrison Jr. going with, Yeah, he's a great wide receiver, Jamar Chase level. This is stupid. I'm trying to find an actual mock draft
You
here.
try to send me a link, by the way, and I can see if I can pull it up. I just don't know if it will, so we can find out.
No, I'm just trying to find a good link here. Okay, so they're saying the Bears are going to get Caleb Williams, that we're going to get Drake May, and then they're going to get Jaden Daniels. New
I
England
think
Patriots.
Chicago is foolish to get rid of Justin Fields this early.
Well, I've heard nothing but bad things about their front office.
Yeah.
Then they're saying the Cardinals get a wide receiver, Chargers get a wide receiver. They already got a wide receiver. Their problem isn't wide receiver; it was coaching. Giants, Titans, offensive tackle. Michael Penix Jr. Going to the Falcons. Yeah, the Falcons need a quarterback. Heineke's good, but
Yeah, they
yeah, I don't
showed that
know.
with Riddler. I didn't think he was going to be a good quarterback this year, and it definitely showed.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, friend. It snowed and I did some shoveling this
Dublin.
morning, so I'm tired. Yeah, but I did want to mention the Commanders now have a new general manager. They have San Fran's former assistant GM. I think his name is Adam something. Shows you how much of a fan I am. Let me find it here. You know, it would be great if like they would tag whoever supposed to, what his name is. Come on, Adam Peters. There we go.
I think
So,
that's
he
a, I
was the
think that's a
former.
step in the right direction.
Yeah, I think we just got to get the coach now. And I mean, I don't know if Bieniemy's the guy. I know. Well, actually, there's something. Belichick interviewed with the Falcons apparently, and apparently Bieniemy also interviewed with the Falcons. I don't think Bieniemy's going to go back to Kansas City to be their offensive coordinator again. I
Oh,
think just he
the
wants to.
enemy.
He wants to be a head coach.
I could see the enemy going to the Falcons. I could see that as a hire. If the Falcons want to do something with that offense, they hire the enemy. They want to do something with their defense and keep that going, they hire Belichick.
I'll just tell you this right now. It's because it took me a second. It's Eric Bieniemy,
Yeah.
BIE. Okay, so it sounded maybe I heard you wrong, but there's only two people watching, and probably one of them was Jim. Hi, Jim. So, but yeah, I've heard Belichick or even Jim Harbaugh going to San Diego, not San Diego, L.A. Chargers. And is Sean McVay going to be staying in L.A. too long? Do you know? They
Uh,
probably have a decent enough squad for next year. You think?
yeah, he'll probably stay. I think he'll be a coach that once they don't make the playoffs, then he'll retire or something like that and go to the booth, which will be interesting to see. I personally think that Bill Belichick to the Chargers would be a pretty good fit.
Yeah.
It'd also
Well,
be
for the
funny
Commanders.
because they have one of the funnier social medias, and seeing Belichick go there would be kind of funny. I think.
Well, okay. I out of the available coaches, I don't know how I feel about Bieniemy, but I mean Mike Vrabel going to Washington, I don't think would be a terrible idea. Jim Harbaugh, I don't think would be terrible. Mike McDaniel, or no, not Mike McDaniel, Mike McDonald, our defensive coordinator in Baltimore. If he goes anywhere, I'm happy. I think it should be Washington, but
Yeah, it depends on what Mike Tomlin's doing too. Is he going to be gone? Like,
I don't want him. Just gonna
I
be honest with you.
He's gonna be whatever team he goes to is gonna be a problem though. He's number 2 if Belichick's number 1. And
yeah. Well, right now he's like now that Belichick's technically not in the league anymore. I mean, he's got the longest tenure now.
Yeah. John Harbaugh's number 2.
Yeah. Oh, geez, you're right. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know, but
number 2, number 3. It might be somebody else. No, he's definitely number 2.
But yeah, Super Bowl. I am probably going to be. I'm going to be on vacation at that time, which you know what I'm doing at that point.
Yeah.
But, yep, and I will just say I might have a really interesting way of watching the Super Bowl. I'll tell you that when we're done recording because I don't really want to give away where I'm going on vacation on stream.
No, that's fair.
Yep. But yeah, if you're you're not gonna live stream the game. So what I'm gonna do then is probably just take pictures. Yeah, I'll send you videos and whatnot or pictures at the game.
That'll be sick.
It's gonna be really cold, and I am going to layer the. I almost said a bad word. I'm gonna layer up. Yep.
Nah, make sure you do. Make sure you got all that Ravens gear on. So you can watch them play the Texans, and hopefully we can get this dub, get to the AFC Championship, and then get to the Super Bowl. That's what we want.
Let's do it. Lamar needs. I mean, I would just love it for Lamar to get a Super Bowl. He's kind of like, I don't know. I hate to make this comparison, but he's like kind of like Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? It took him a few years.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking in comparison. You got Patrick Mahomes is like Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Lamar Jackson being the same as Peyton Manning is good. And then who would you compare Josh Allen to?
Drew
Just
Brees.
from that era. Drew Brees? I could maybe or Phillip Rivers.
Ooh, Phillip Rivers is a good comparison, but I think Herbert's Phillip Rivers, unfortunately.
And not just because of the obvious. Yeah. Well, got 4 people watching. You know, if anyone in the chat wants to tell us what their predictions are, so. Man, that Cowboys game, I was a happy camper that night.
Yeah, no.
5.
No, yeah, that was a great game to see. I'm just really hoping that, and I'm gonna keep harping back to the Ravens because, of course, it's a Ravens channel. I'm hoping that they just do not overlook the Texans. I do not want a repeat of what happened with the Titans because that'll.
Let's talk about
that. Let's not talk about that because I don't want that to happen.
No. I'm just saying, like, what? Okay, let's talk about the game and like kind of what needs to be done in order for them to win. Because now we got more people watching. So, like, definitely, you were saying earlier, run the ball more.
They just gotta run that ball.
Yeah, if Mark Andrews comes back, though.
Mark Andrews comes back, use him. Don't overuse him. I don't think we're going to need Mark Andrews right now. I think having him later down the stretch against competition that is like the Bills, where you need to have a tight end that can go over the middle to take advantage of their linebackers situation that they have going on. Whereas the Texans have pretty good linebackers, so you're gonna see a focus on them running the ball and trying to hit shots to Zay, Bateman, Odell, and on the sidelines and down the field, stretch the field.
Gotcha. Well, I don't want to just talk the talk, but thank you all for watching. Hit that subscribe button, share with your friends and family. We love talking about football. Love to have you stop in and stop by. So.
Yep. Appreciate you guys. Make sure to drop those likes, like Dan said. We are going to be live next week after the divisional round, and we will see how our picks fare, and we will also see who is going to the AFC and NFC championships. I think we have some really interesting cases here for some really good games. And let's see if the Packers can go upset the 49ers, or let's see if the 49ers can dominate the Packers and then get to go against the Detroit Lions or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That'd be pretty interesting.
Let's see if Patrick Mahomes needs to play in Arrowhead to do well in the to do well in the playoffs.
Yeah, gotta see how that goes.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. You take care.
See you guys.